fast, fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful thoughts and past. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, quite a lot was happening. In the last part, we had things with Deku and Amelia, and exactly the situation going on with her mother. Now, Deku, he went to go investigate Amelia's mother. Amelia knows her mom is sick. However, that secret is being kept from her. Deku, he went to go look at her mother and see exactly what type of condition she was in, and investigate what's going on there. Now, Deku, after he headed there, he discovered quite a bit. The person in charge, they have no idea what's wrong with her. And so does everybody else. It's all the same. However, Deku, he not only took a picture of this person's screen whenever he did see writing on it, he did even at least interview Amelia's mother, Alice. Now, this was all very strange. And Deku, he did at least go to collect some blood samples and actually take a sample of the water she was been drinking. He wanted to know if there was anything he's missing, and what exactly she's going or having and taken into her body. Now, Deku, he did talk to Momoya Yorozu, and after a slight bit of convincing, and even the promise of some Etso DNA, or blood, she caved a bit. Her company, they've been trying to research Etsos in order to better help them adjust to Earth, and even sell certain items to them, as in medicine and, well, improving their own understanding of the human body. Since if they do study another species, it could open up different avenues for humans. Now, with that all out of the way, Deku, he does at least get a phone call. It's been a few days, and Deku, he has not returned to the mansion in this time. He's stayed on base with the Etsos, and he's at least gone through certain medical screenings so as to make sure that whatever is wrong with Amelia's mother, Alice, has not jumped species. Now, Deku, he's been fine, and the doctors, they did at least clear him of all medical, well, analysis. And Deku, he does get a phone call, as he does currently answer it and ask who it is. To which the scientists on the other end of the line, they are talking a bit, and they actually are going over a few things. It took them some time, but they've been able to get access to a few files and even details. Okay, give me the rundown. Well, Mr. Midoriya, it's fairly complicated. I won't bore you with the poor details and exactly how I did it, but I analyzed some other Etso blood. And after further research and looking into it, I found a few abnormalities. Yes, just some, I believe, fairly basic stuff, but it does seem odd. There's no alcohol contents, nor is there, from what I'm understanding from reading this, drug contents in her system. However, there are certain chemicals that, whenever mixed together, they could actually be very dangerous. Really? Yes. Well, only one of these chemicals are, to humans, somewhat deadly. It does seem like the Etsos, they are irritants, if you don't put it in that way. Irritants. Well, this is the name I'm using for them. It causes irritation. And rash? Well, assumably yes. However, that's the problem. Her blood sample is dense with them, and it does seem to be abnormally high. So, I did at least have a question. Do you know anything about exobiology? Some. Okay. So, do you know about the Etzo's immune system and exactly how they cannot process certain earthing alcohol, such as tequila, or even certain human medicines? Yeah, they're basically like cyanide pills to them. Exactly. I believe that this earth-based chemical, it may be too dense for her organs to filter out completely. So it may be causing, well, a slowness effect. And with the fact that she's regularly ingesting it, it could be that she's, well, at a point where her body can't handle it all. It's trying to expel it, but it can't be vomited out because her body isn't registering it as a threat. Really? Okay, that at least solves that problem. But what are these chemicals? The person listing them down, and Deku is going to write a few things down as well. And he actually does start to somewhat look into it more. He does start to sit people down and interview them. A lot of the Etzos here, they're scientists. Only very few are guards. And Deku, he does listen to what they do have to say. And he even does talk to the person who does prepare the queen's food. And Deku does sit down with them currently. As Ari does stand up to shake their hand, he does look at them, and they do seem to be a bit nervous. Them sitting down. Alright, hello. I don't believe I have to introduce myself. Um, yes, hello. Why exactly are you here? Hmm? Why am I here? It's, quite simple. I'm conducting interviews and looking into a situation currently. Really? Yes, I am. There's a lot to go off of and a lot to go on. However, it's from my understanding that you do have the qualifications of, well, a chef, correct? Yes. Um, as your speech would put it, I have information on how to prepare food. I had lots of it back on our other planet, and, well, improvisation was one of my specialties. In fact, whenever we did come to Earth, I discovered a knack for using your Earth recipes. Granted, some were strange at first, but I eventually got a. Okay, listen, we don't exactly have time for that. I do have a question. Do you know exactly what the Queen eats regularly? Hmm? Yes, I do. It's a certain meal plan that we prepared for her. It's supposed to be highly, well, nutritious for her, as well as healthy. And it even does provide certain nutrients that we do use to help fight off more bacteria in her system, and even certain contaminants. Hmm. Okay, so, question then. What exactly are you giving her? The person going to start elaborating, and Deku is going to listen. They list off a few things fruits, vegetables, even some meats, and Deku does listen to them. As he does, they start to notice that they're ranting, and he decides not to interrupt them. He just lets them go off, and the person do talk about things for a few minutes. Talking about how, oh yeah, when they first came to Earth, this. They were curious about this idea here, and they wanted to explore this more. Hmm? Okay, I do not wish to interrupt you, but you've been going on long enough. Oh, I do apologize. I'm just so fascinated. Yes, that's the word. Alright, so that is my understanding there. So, what exactly do you know about the people who are currently a threat to the king's life? Hmm? Excuse me? Yes. There are multiple groups of interest right now that they do believe the king he's not running things properly. And I'm here today to see if somebody from one of those groups may be involved and want the king dead. Do you know anything about this? Um, no, I don't. I'm sorry, I can't exactly say for certain I know anything about it. Hmm, okay. Now, I would like to read your mind if that was okay with you. The person going quiet. And Deku, he does notice that. Everybody's been forthcoming with their memories. So, let's see what this person says. Right now they're one of his highest suspects. Um, I would find that to be, a little invasive, don't you think? It is. However, I do have authorization from the king that I am allowed to ask that question. If you're not comfortable with it, we can conduct the interview another way. However, you will be seen as highly suspicious because of this, and you may be removed from your post. Excuse me? But that cannot be authorized. Sir, I'm currently under the jurisdiction of the king. If I say that you may be a threat to his wife's life, you should be lucky that he wouldn't execute you. I understand. Listen, before you do that, I do have a few things to say. I've been getting strange gaps in my memories. Really? Deku leaning forwards, and going to sit down his notepad. That wasn't what he expected. He didn't come clean. What do you mean by gaps? I mean, gaps. I don't exactly know what it is. I find myself in random places sometimes. I fall asleep and. Oh. Oh? Do you know what this phenomenon is? Oh. You're just sleepwalking. Sleep. What? Your unconscious mind is active, but you're physically asleep. Think of it like a self driving car, but with a sleeping guy in the seat. That sounds quite dangerous. Eh, depends on where you're at. You should be lucky, though. What do you mean by that? Well, most people here, they seem to have similar problems. There's been gaps in other people's memories, and some people do seem to even be a little forgetful. It might just be because the days are blending together, but so far it does seem like everyone is cleared up. Cleared? Yes. However, I want to ask you about certain chemicals I do believe that you should know, or you may know about. Yes, I'd be willing to listen. Alright, so let's see. One of the things I'm looking at here is certain chemicals that can be found in fruits, certain chemicals that can be found in meats, and certain chemicals that can be found in, well, I'm not too sure if you know about this, but certain industrial cleaners. Cleaners? Yes, it's actually quite interesting. I never knew that this cleaner, it's a famous brand. Right now, it's currently used in multiple countries, including the space here. But so far, from what I'm reading, and the analysis I had taken from this base, a sample of the cleaner was found accurate to what was actually in the blood of Alice. I'm sorry? Yes. And so far from what I'm also reading, this cleaner has been diluted. So, question, Mr. Chef, what exactly have you been doing? Why didn't you just kill the queen? Excuse me, what are you implying here? Sir, through every step of the cooking process, you have access to her food. And you decide what is used in that meal. You decide what goes into her body. You are in charge of all that, correct? Yes, I understand, but then what exactly have you been doing? You've been making a mistake. Now, please, try to say a defense. I will allow you to say something. The guards are waiting outside this room in case you do try to run. And remember, even I do have psychic powers, so do not try to attack me. Now, the person they're just sitting there, and they are confused. They don't understand. They're innocent. They're at least trying to say so. And Deku does hear that. Right now it does show much concern. And whenever the person does go to stand up, they do try at least to say their own defense. They have not been trying to poison the queen, and they are loyal to her. They have done much for his family, and they even did save his family. He was only a child whenever the invasion happened, and he will not be accused of murdering the people who saved him. Now, Deku, he himself does go to stand up, and there is actually whenever he does go to at least hold up a pair of handcuffs, asking them if they would like to come with him quietly, or if you'd like to try and fight and make this a whole lot worse, because he can guarantee the king already is not happy with him. But if he does try to fight him and be violent, then his sentence can either get heavier or he may be executed. So, what will it be? Deku just going to sit back down and then go to slide the handcuffs over, as he does go to lean back. And the person just stare at Deku, as we're ready to go to bring their hands down and go to grab onto the handcuffs. They do start to put them on. When they do put them onto one wrist, people do start to walk in. And the person they do go to put them on the other wrist, as they go to bring their hands down to the table over some people or guards on both their left and the right to try to force the person out of the room. They tell Deku that there's one thing he left out. His gaps in his memory are around the time he would cook the meal. And that is a problem. If anything is happening, it would be around then. So check the cameras. Now, the person's being forced away, and Deku does find that to be quite odd, as he does start to investigate that little footnote. Now, the person's taken away, and the queen, she does actually have somebody else come in to prepare her meals. However, there is at least the fact that now there is going to be an armed guard with that person, and they need to be made aware of every single thing that's being put in said meal. Now, Deku, yeah. Whenever that does actually happen, he does stay here for an additional few days, going through his own physical therapy until he does get to the point where he doesn't need to use his powers to actually keep himself up. Now, Deku, he does still get tired. However, he is able to at least maintain his walking ability for a few hours a day. Now, with that out of the way, the queen actually has started to show signs of recovery, and Deku, he does know this, as he does get to leave the base. And right now it does somewhat worry him. Deku, he's walking down the hallway, and he is thinking. Something about this case doesn't seem right to him. There's a piece of the puzzle he's not understanding. Maybe he's just overthinking it. Maybe it's just the fact that he's been out of the game so long and his first case is quite literally save the queen. But that's just the problem though. This seems like an amateur ability, an amateur case. Somebody with a fresh perspective could do this. Hell, okay, but that's a problem though. People report gaps in memory. People are saying that there's problems. Oh, okay. What are you missing, Izuku? Now, Deku is going to bump into somebody in the hallway. And Deku is going to try to apologize and he's going to take a step backwards. However, the person is just going to stare at him with a bit of a smile. Deku is staring at a guard, as he's going to try and step forwards, before looking down. No. Shit. There's a knife in his side. That's bad. Deku going to take a step backwards, as he does go to bring up his hand and try and push them away. Now, the person are sent flying backwards and up into the air, and Deku is going to hold on to them, as he's going to reach down and grab onto his side. Shit! Boy, what the fuck are you doing? the person going to look directly back towards Deku, as they just stare at him. Seriously, got nothing to say? Fuck, that hurts. Now, Deku he just stare at them. No words. So he decides to try and read their minds. He can't. What the hell's going on with you? Now, the person is finally going to speak. He has done quite a bit in his time on Earth, and he's actually quite intrigued. Ever since the purple aliens came to their planet, he has been an advocate for them, hasn't he? Oh, God. Don't tell me. Tell you what? That we're back? That we have returned to your planet to see many things and many plans go through fruition. My friend came here, and he died. I learned when talking to you the other day that your species, you killed him. Shit. So, I would just like to say, you are in quite a lot of trouble. Because right now, you are my target. Now, the person is going to break free of Deku's control, and their actually is later. Whenever Deku, he is found in the hallway by a guard with this person, who they do appear to be dead. And whenever Deku, he's taken to the medical facility, and he's patched up, there actually is whenever Deku is being interviewed later. The security camera footage was disabled. The camera was found destroyed down the hallway. And they're trying to understand what happened because Deku, whenever he did come to, he seemed to be groggy. He seemed to be off. And there actually was Deku. He was trying to talk to people and tell them that he was going to be okay. However, they did try to reassure him that he's lost quite a bit of blood, and he just needs to stay bedridden. Because already with his, well, him taxing his body the way he was, they don't believe that it was healthy for him to do what he was doing. I'll be fine. I just need to recover a bit more, and I can do that at my own home. Mr. Midoriya, please, we've done medical scans on you. So far, you're still ill-prepared to leave. I'll be fine. I'll just use my powers. I'll come back for the bike later. Now, Deku, he does get to float up into the air. And he does get to leave. As we do have the people in the base. They're still confused. That person they were found with a snapped neck. And Midoriya, he was stabbed. If they wanted to attack him, why would they stab him? Why would they go to such lengths? Yes, his mental abilities could be overpowering to theirs. This humans can grow, but a weapon so primitive? It doesn't make sense. We do currently have Deku. As he is flying over the ocean, he actually is somewhat smiling, and there is a glint in his eye. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.